Hey everybody, it's Crystals here, and today we got I don't know how to say this. This is like the dumbest deck I've probably played. It's man, it's somewhat competitive, but it's not great. Let's put it that way. And today we're gonna go into stupid fun. Like I said, I actually enjoyed this, having fun in this game and doing stupid shit. And this is what I'm bringing to the table. It is Gunkan ships with Fallen of Ablas and the Dystopia archetype. So yeah, I am bringing the Dystopias with branded with gunships, Sue ships with as a rank 4 engine, with only going into like 2 of the monsters because the actual deck's kind of tight. But again, we're talking about our card by card and why I made these decisions, and we'll go from there. So the first thing is we got 2 of the Gunkan ships. It's a level 4 vanilla monster. That's all they have, 2000 attack. So you need 3 of these. Definitely run them. Then we got Frame Gear Gammas, 2 of them, and 1 driver. We already know the deal with those. If you going second card, really good because it can stop monster effects. We got 1 Despot 001, and that's for our Crystal Halki Firebrax. It is a brick, so you really don't want to draw it, but it as a 1-of, it's definitely really good. We got 1 Despian Tragedy. One Despian Tragedy here. This card, if it's sent to the graveyard and/or banished, you could add 1 Dystopia monster from your deck to your hands. So it's a really good card. The graveyard effect doesn't really come into play too much, but the first one definitely does. If you want to cut any of these cards, you can add more of him, like add 2 copies for sure. We got 3 Ash Blossom to stop search effects. We got 3 Fallen of Alblaz. This card is fucking amazing. If this card is no more special summoned, you could discard 1 card, then fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck, using monsters on either side of the field as fusion material. So you can fusion away your opponent's monsters, go to any of your fusion cards that you want. So just an FYI. So we have a couple, we could go into the Dragon or Splendid the Irish Dragon. Then we got 3 Jesters. Jesters is pretty cool. If it's no more special summon, you can add 1 branded spell trap. And usually what you want to be adding is the field spell. Every now and then you can add branded in white. So just, Then we got 3 Gunkan ships. Ikra. Ikra is a base if you control Ashira. This one here. You can special summon this card from your hands. You could only use this effect once per turn. During your main phase, you could activate the top 3 cards of your deck, and if you do, you can either add or special summon 1 of the 2 ships. If you have activate any of these guys, you can special summon it. That's basically all it is. It's not the best card, but it's pretty good. We got 3 Dragon Rage of Desparia. So if a fusion, synchro, exit, or link monster is special summoned, you could target 1 effect monster on the field and negate its effects. It's really good that way. It's really easy to get out. Definitely worth running 2 of them. Then it has a graveyard effect where you can if this card's in your hand or field, it is used as a fusion material and sent to the graveyard or banished, you can special summon this card. And that does come up quite a bit also. So it's a nice floating effect, and it has a nice little negate. We got 1 Aberon, the Shrouded Dragon. This name becomes Fallen while on the field or in the graveyard. This card is in your hand or graveyard. You could send 1 Fallen or 1 brand spell trap from your hand or deck to the graveyard and apply the Falling effect based on what it was. Hand, special summon it, deck, place this card on the bottom deck. If you do, draw 1 card. So, yeah. It's a pretty good card. And it's a dragon, which is needed for Brandon and White. We got 1 Regeki for, going second board wipe. 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, same thing, just a nice little board wipe. Monster Reborn is a nice extender, depending where you want to go in the Sue ship line or our Dystopia, the more competitive line of our deck. We got 3 Allure of Darkness to draw some cards. We got plenty of dark cards in our deck, so we do have a lot of targets. We got 3 Unexpected Die. If you control no monsters, you can special summon 1 level 4 lower normal monster. And this is our target right here. So definitely worth running. We got one branded in white. You can fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material, including a dragon monster. That'd be this card here. If you use Fallen Abras as fusion material from your hand, field, and or banishing itself from the graveyard, during the end phase, if this card's in your graveyard because it was sent there to activate the effect of it, you could set this card. So you can fusion summon, and then if you use Fallen like the dragon, since it's always gonna be being called it, you could just reuse it the next turn. Definitely worth it running. We got one ready fusion. This card is fucking amazing. You can pay 1,000 life points, special summon one level 6 or lower non-fusion monster from your extra deck. And our target is going to be Alvarion the Essence. Why? Is because it's a fusion tuner. That's the only thing we care about. That's it. We got 2 Despia Theaters. During your main phase, you can fusion summon one level 8 or higher fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand and or field as material. If a face-up non-fusion fairy monster you control leaves the field by opponent's card effect or is destroyed by battle, you can target one level 8 or high fusion monster to your graveyard, special summon it. Then we got another one. We got the Gunkan Shipyard. Once per turn, if you normal or special summon a Gunkan monster, even during the damage step, you can place one Gunkan card from your deck on top of your deck. And once per turn, if a face-up Gunkan monster you control that was special summoned from the extra deck is sent to the graveyard by opponent's card. Activate this effect. The opponent pays life points exactly equal to the monster's defense in your graveyard. Then you can apply this effect. Special summon one Gunkan ship from your hand, then special one Gunkan XC from your extra deck by using that material card you control. So it's a nice little card. I was running 2 for a while, then I just cut it down to 1. Then we got 2 Called by the Graves, and then we got 1 Branded Opening. Branded Opening is a really good card. You can discard 1 card and take 1 Despia monster from your deck and either add it to your hand and or special summon it in defense position. But for the rest of the turn, it locks you out of your extra deck, except for fusion monsters. If your fusion monster you control would be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead, and it protects that monster. Really good card. I know this is a fucking mess. It's not the greatest deck at all, but if you want to have fun, it is a hell of a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie. It's a fucking blast. Now we got 1 Avion. This allows us to go into Crystron Firebrax. Avion is a really good card for one big reason. Avion allows us well, basically ready fusion plus any normal summon allows us to go to Hulk. Hulk at that point will special summon Despot. You link those 2 off for Mecham Phantom Beast Aurora. Aurora will special summon 3 tokens. And then on top of that, Despot 001 will special summon itself. And at that point, you got 2 lines that you could really go into. You could actually sync off all of the tokens plus Despot 001 and go into Baron de Fleur. Baron is an enemy negate. And then on top of the not enemy negate that it does, you could target 1 card on the field and destroy it. It is stupidly powerful, and yeah, it's really good. We could also go into like Shooting Riser Dragon if you really wanted to. You could send cards from your deck to the graveyard. You could send like your Tragedy. Yeah, like I said, just like Ready Fusion alone allows us to go into Baron so fucking easily. So it's definitely worth having. We got 1, the Glory Dragon. Glory Dragon is not the best, but it can't be destroyed by battle, so it has some protection. Then while you control this fusion card, your opponent cannot target other monsters you control with monster effects. During the end phase, if this card is sent from the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you could add to your hand or special summon 1 Tribe Brigade, which is a 1 Tribe Brigade monster, or 1 Fallen of Abras from your deck. The Fallen is what the keyword here, so it has a nice little floating effect where it keeps on recycling. We got 1 Springing Iron Dash. This card's really not that useful to be 100% honest, but it does come up every now and then. During your main phase, you can remove this card. You can move this card you control to another main monster zone. Then you can destroy all other face-up cards in this card's column. So like you could move it to like the zone right next to it, and there's 2 other cards in it. It destroys all those. It will destroy those 2 other cards. Then if this card is in the graveyard because it was set there this turn, you could add 1 Spring Gains, doesn't matter, or 1 Fallen from your deck. And that's what really matters. That's somewhat floating, you know. Then we got 1 Destepian Quirtus. He's a pretty cool card. Basically, once per turn, a quick effect. during the main phase, you could exchange all attack monsters on the field to 0 unless they're level 8 or higher fusion monster. Then if this face-up card, if the owner leaves the field because of the opponent's card effect, you could add to or special summon one Fallen Abras or Despia monster from your deck. It's a really good card, definitely worth at least running one of them. Then we got one Pro Kitson. This card does not come up that often, but I do like to run it just in case. You could easily cut this and add anything else. But basically, you could target one fusion, synchro, exit, or link monster in your opponent's graveyard and banish it and or special summon it to your field. Then when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack or defense, whatever is higher. So the idea here is that you could target any of their key monsters in their graveyard and just special summon it to your field. And you get more build prevalence, you can link them off at that point, or just keep it if it's high enough attack or has a good effect. So just so you know, really good. We got one Shooting Rise of Dragon. It's really only here to send cards from your deck to the graveyard. You still use it to go into Baron because that does have immediately after this card results synchro summon it. So like you could easily synchro summon off into Baron if you wanted to. We got one Baron the Floor. I already said what this card does. It's amazing, definitely worth running. We got two Gunkan Ships Eco class. Basically Dreadnought here is not the best card, but this is our first wave of ship support, so I'm happy. So this card, it applies these effects in sequence based on the materials used. So if you use the normal monster, you could draw one card. If you use the effect monster, it can make a second attack during each battle phase. Then once per turn, when you Gunkan monster special summon from the extra deck inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you could target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. So yeah, it's a pretty decent card with a 22,000 attack, and I like running it. That's as simple as that. If you really want to add more cards, I'm running 13 because of Banquet OTK. If you really wanted to, add Zeus to this deck because it does make a big difference. You can easily attack with Zeus ship and just rank up into Zeus, so just We got one Crystron Hybrax. I already said what this card does. It special summons Despot from your deck really easily. Definitely worth running at least one. We got Mecha Beast, Phantom Beast Auroradon. Summons tokens that goes into your that could be used to go into Baron the Floor. We got one Apollosa, Bow of the Goddess. This is a monster negate. It's a really good one. Basically, it can negate Nibiru and stuff like that out of your opponent's hand, Ash, Maxi, or anything they want to play on the field. You can get 4 monsters out really easily to get 4 negates out with this really fucking easily. So definitely worth running. Then the cleanup games, we have one Access Code Talker. That's it. Access Code. This becomes into a very big beefy boy. And on top of that, you could pop cards on the field. So that's the whole deck. I know this is not competitive at all. It's not good. I will admit that it's not the best, but this is what I've been using to have a fucking hell of a lot of fun with it. I do have 2 more decks. One's already finished. One of them I'm still building. I gotta wait till next week when I get paid to buy more pack. You know how it all goes. So that deck would be a little bit, but one's already complete and I already have footage for that, so you guys will enjoy this stupid fun video. Then we got a more competitive deck that I've been using in Platinum. So yeah, like I said, I hope you guys all enjoyed this, and I'll catch you all next time. Alright, also we'll go into the games. I got one today and it's against Dark Magician. I hope everybody has fun. Alright everybody, it's Crystals here. So today we got a kind of a quick game, but it's against Dark Magician. And I'm going second. My opponent chose to go first. And Dark Magician, kind of weird, but we'll see what he gets set up and we'll go from there. I actually have a pretty decent hand. I opened up a Branded, Called, Harpy's Feather Duster, and 2 Jesters. I'm feeling pretty confident in this. We'll see what happens though, based on his board. He sets one thing, activates Dark Magical Circle. Dark Magical Circle gets Dark Magician to the hands. At this point, he activates Secrets of the Dark Magician, sending 2 Dark Magicians to go into the Dark Magicians. At that point, he activates Soul Servant to get 1 card at the top of his deck. Then he activates the Dark Magicians to get Magician's Salvation to the field, setting Eternal Souls. At this point, Soul Servant will activate. He gets 1 more card to the hand, and he will set that too. I'm like, alright, cool. I feel pretty confident. I get one Gunkan Despia. I activate Harvey's Feather Duster, getting rid of all of his cards. He activates the Dark Magicians, gives one card to the field. I activate Jester. Jester will get me the field spell, and at this point, I activate the field spell. I activate Branded Opening, discarding my Sue Ship, and I do get a Drive Mage. I activate the field spell and go into the Fusion Despia. At this point, I'll activate him in the graveyard since I fusion summoned a special summon. Now I can attack over. So I'll attack for 200 damage. The Dark Magicians will activate. He'll get a Dark Magician to the field and a Dark Magician Gore. At this point, I will attack the Dark Magician Gore because she could get kind of beefy. So at this point, I set Call by the Grave and I end my turn. Feeling pretty confident. He can't really do too much, but we'll see what happens. He draws a card. He activates Magician Souls. Magician Soul will send a Dark Magician in itself, and he would special summon a Dark Magician. I'm like, oh shit. At this point, he's going to exit off into Illusion Magician. At this point, I see his play. He's actually going to try to attack and go into a Zeus. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to have to stop this. I activate this effect, negating his monster's effect. He's going to Regeki my board. At this point, I'm going to activate my Despian card to make his his Illusion Magician 0 attack. And on top of that, I am going to activate my Branded Opening in the graveyard to protect my fusion. So just so you know what's happening. So Branded Opening effect goes off. And at this point, he's just going to attack. And there's nothing he could do. And he's going to concede. So like I said, that was a very quick game. I know it was a quick game. I do hope everybody's enjoyed that, though. Yeah, like I said, this has been a very stupid deck. I hope everybody's enjoying it. Like I said, I do have another video coming up very soon. Should be in the next day or two. And yeah, it's going to be a lot more competitive, a lot more better than this. Then probably next week, I'm going to have yet another video for another very big competitive deck. Then I got a couple decks in the works for the Synchro event coming up on the 11th. So stay tuned. I know it's a lot, and I'm going to try my best to get everything going. Anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed, and I'll catch you all later.